Are you thinking of moving to the Ann Arbor area? Our neighborhood tours will take you through some different places and show you some different price points so you can get an idea of what kind of homes here might meet your needs. Of course, there's much more of interest here than just the houses. Ann Arbor is consistently rated one of the best places in the country to live. We'll talk about those things too. I am a townie from kindergarten to a degree from the University of Michigan, and then I stayed here. So you'll be getting the real inside view from a true native. If you stay until the end, I'll share an inside secret to this side of town that you don't want to miss, especially if you have children. So let's get going. When you relocate to a different area, sometimes the best way to get a handle on home buying is to spend a bit of time with a map. In this video, we're looking at a bit of the northeast side of Ann Arbor. This side of town is very popular with families where one member works in the northern Detroit area, like maybe Farmington Hills, Southfield, or Auburn Hills, and the other member of the family works in the Ann Arbor area. Finally, it's highly attractive to young families due to the excellent Ann Arbor schools on this side of town. The major east-west roads are M14, Plymouth Road, Ford Road, and Geddes Road. A bit farther south is the big highway, I-94. The major north-south traffic over here is on US 23. Then a bit farther east is Dixboro Road, which goes through the small town of Dixboro. For today's tour, we are looking at Fleming Creek, a development on the northeast side of Ann Arbor at the corner of Plymouth and Dixboro Roads. This is in Ann Arbor Township, not the city of Ann Arbor, so the real estate taxes are somewhat lower. One caution, there's actually a Fleming Creek Road farther from town off Ford Road. We've helped buyers purchase there too, but it's easy for people to get confused between the Fleming Creek subdivision and the subdivisions on Fleming Creek Road. So this subdivision was built in two phases. The first, built on the south side of the creek, has about 77 homes, and the construction of these homes started in 1993. Phase 2 is on the north side of the creek with about 120 homes. These homes were finished about 6 years later, around 2000. As we zoom into the map, you can see the south pond down here, the informal baseball field here, with the playground equipment over here, and the gazebo area. The last time we were showing property on Ravine Court, there were a couple of fat turkeys in the common area back here. And this is the creek across here that divides the development. Then in the second phase, there's a common area and pond. While I was recording this video, I caught this crane doing some fishing. Hey, score one for the bird. Back to the map. The common area in the back of these homes is where the tennis court is. Finally, there's a bit of a common area over here on the northwestern side, but I've never been back there. So we just walked into this little gazebo that's at the north entrance of phase 1 of Fleming Creek. And it's kind of cute. They have a couple of benches here, and they have a pond and some very boisterous frogs, I think, that are croaking here. You'll probably hear as we go along with this. Our tour starts at the Plymouth Road entrance. As we go through here, you'll see there are a variety of architectural styles. Almost all are two-story styles, but some have first-floor primary bedrooms. All these homes have basements, and many are view-out basements, with some, particularly around the edges of the subdivision, are walkout sites. If you include the space in the finished walkout basements, some of these homes exceed 5,000 square feet in size. These homes are built with volume ceilings, nice entryways, and large windows. By now, many of these homes have had the kitchen and the bath remodels done, and a lot of them have had window replacements. Almost all of the homes here have nice decks and patios. Here's some construction trivia. When these were built, a style of kitchen cabinet we refer to as Euro White was very popular. The original materials are good if they're maintained and gently used, but once the finish gets damaged, they can start looking really rough. When these homes were built, about half of them seemed to have this same Euro white style kitchens. The other trendy finish was bleached oak, also known as washed oak. The bleached oak cabinets didn't wear well, so I think most of those have been replaced by now. One thing to be sensitive to when you're looking in this area. There are a lot of hills in Fleming Creek. Nothing dramatic, but always remember that water flows downhill. During late winter in Ann Arbor, there are times when rain falls on still frozen ground, making it the prime time for yard flooding and basement water intrusion. Pay attention to the elevation of the homes you look at here in comparison to those of your neighbors. Nobody likes to be at the bottom of a hill in a Michigan winter. That characteristic, the elevation of a lot compared to its neighbors, is one of the 10 critical location characteristics that a lot of home buyers miss. We could talk for hours about the 10 critical location characteristics in a neighborhood like this, and it's an important discussion for home buyers. So here's a fun story. This particular house on South Ridgeside Circle, right behind me, when we were helping the original owners purchase it, got the 3 trees in front here. When we were helping the original owners purchase it, we had our home inspection, and the inspector filled the hall bathroom. So this is the tub upstairs. They filled the hall bathroom tub all the way up to the overflows. So you want to always check the overflows to make sure the plumber, when they installed the tub, actually tightened them up properly. And this was one case out of probably half a dozen we run into where the plumber did not tighten them up. So during the home inspection, the water started to go into the overflow and then pass right out of the tub into the wall, and it formed a wet spot on the hallway below, which we were able to see, and of course we got the water turned off. But it was a great example of why you want to have a thorough home inspection, even on brand new construction. So this was brand new when the house was being built. I think this was maybe 96. And of course the builder apologized and they came back and fixed it. But it's one of those things that if the inspector hadn't done that test, the homeowner could have moved in and had that problem show up, in the middle of a holiday event or some kind of crazy situation, and it could have done a fair amount of damage. So no matter what the builder says, no matter who the builder is, it's always worth it to have your own independent contractor inspection of brand new construction. Another feature that attracts a lot of buyers here is that this development feeds into the King Elementary School, which is one of the 2 or 3 most desirable elementary schools in Ann Arbor. This year's home values here range from the mid $500,000 to north of $700,000. Here's another kind of interesting history of the neighborhood here. I see a house right across the street that we helped the original owners purchase. So this is like quite some time ago when the neighborhood was just starting. And I remember distinctly the rough carpenters started building a different elevation on the garage than what the buyers had signed up for. And we had to contact the sales office 3 different times to point out to them that they were building the wrong front on that garage. Eventually, and they'd gotten pretty far into the process in terms of the rough carpentry, and they had to come back and tear it all down and start over again on the front of that house. Now, it was fine by the time our client got to closing. They'd got it all straightened out. But it's another one of those things, if you're buying new construction, you gotta pay attention to what they're doing, because sometimes they get their signals crossed and end up putting together a house that's different than what you signed up to buy. Once again, it's not the first time we've seen that kind of thing happen. But very pleasant neighborhood. I just want to mention it's It's nice. The houses in general are very well maintained, and the yards are just really, really nice, especially this time of year. We're in spring as we're taking this particular set of videos out in Fleming Creek, and the yards look great, and the people are all smiling, and it's a very pleasant time in Michigan. Now, for our best kept secret today related to the Fleming Creek subdivision. We're a bit northeast of Fleming Creek at the brick church in the village of Dixboro. The brick church we see here is now owned by the township. There's a white church behind it you can see there that is actually on Church Road. This is an active Methodist church. I don't know anybody who worships there, but I attended a wedding there a few years back, and it was a beautiful little church back then. What we're looking at here in the foreground is a merry-go-round that probably dates back close to 100 years. It's a stand-up merry-go-round, and I've been here when there were 6 or 8 children having fun on either standing or sitting as it was spinning around. I know the township is a bit nervous because it's such an old piece of playground equipment, but the local children and a few adults really seem to enjoy it. As the camera pans around, you see where they're getting ready for the Friday Farmers Market here. Then you see the coffee shop and then some other shops, and then the Dixboro General Store, which is a nice gift shop there at the corner of Plymouth Road and Cherry Hill Road. So let us know in the comments if you've ever played on the standing merry-go-round in front of the brick church in the little village of Dixboro. This is, like I say, it's kind of a local best kept secret.